Do you think some of this criticism that's coming out now is sexist?
There were double standards all along with throughout the campaign. I don't know if anybody's asking Barack Obama, for instance, who did your makeup before you went on stage? But they've been asking me, and they've been reporting, who powdered her nose before she went up on stage. I don't hear the guys being asked about that. And, who purchased the hairspray along the trail. We know itemized what kind of hairspray Sarah Palin was using. I don't hear the guys being asked. So that's a double standard, and I'm not afraid to, or ashamed to admit that that is my feeling on this, is of course there were double standards. But so be it. What I want to send the message to the young girls in America is, yep, girls, you better study hard, you better work hard, you better plow through the double standards that are going to be in front of you. And yep, there's going to be a couple extra hurdles for every young woman in America. It makes us work that much harder. In campaigns, it'll make us run that much faster and much tougher, much harder in order to be received appropriately and given credence, given credibility. We'll work that much harder.
I mean, a lot of us who have daughters, we think about that when we see what you've gone through, and that's why the question I have to ask you is, are you surprised by what you've seen? I mean, you've been the governor, you've been in political life, but now 70 days after John became convicted, have you learned something about that?
That's a good question, because here in Alaska, that double standard isn't so much applied here, because these guys know that Alaskan women are pretty tough. In fact, on par with the men in terms of being outdoors, working hard. Look at the vocations that Alaskan women choose. They're commercial fishermen, they're pilots, they're working up on the North Slope in the oil fields. We're raised up here to know that, you talk about equality, you see equality in Alaska. And so that's a good question, because I think that was a bit of a surprise on a national level, is, wait, you mean the other 49 states aren't quite there like Alaskans are? Well, come on, follow Alaska's lead and start allowing the equal opportunities and the equal treatment.
Governor Ted Stevens is leading the Senate race. Have you changed your mind since Alaska voters have spoken?
Well, that's the point. The Alaskan voters have spoken, and me not being a dictator won't be telling anybody what to do. He, at this point, is leading in the Senate race. I would think, though, that if he holds that lead and if he's seated as a U.S. Senator, I've heard from a couple senators saying that they would vote to expel, so that may, it takes 2/3, of course, a vote of the Senate to expel a fellow senator. So that's their baby. They'll have to figure out what to do that. A governor, especially one that's not going to be a dictator in all this, doesn't have control over that.
But you're not calling for him to step down?
Again, not after the will of the people has been made manifest via that vote.
Would you run for his seat in a special election if it is vacant?
Not planning on that. No, not planning on that. Just being very thankful to get to hustle back to my governor's office here and get to work as the governor. I tell you, this is the best job in the world, is being the governor.
Would you rule it out?
From all over the country,
Yeah.
Messages are pouring in, interview requests are pouring in. How long do you think it's going to take before
it
you're
dies
no longer
down?
really considered the vice presidential candidate, but once again considered the
I don't
governor of
know.
Alaska?
Good question. I don't know, but I'll tell you what we'll do is we'll take advantage of the opportunities to keep on spreading that pro-Alaska message all across the nation until people get sick and tired of hearing it, because there is so much to be said about Alaska's potential and the contributions that we will be making to this nation to allow us to be energy independent. That's a national security issue, and it's an economic prosperity issue. Alaska has a lot to say. We have a lot to live up to also, a lot of responsibility on our part. So as long as the nation wants to hear about the uniqueness, the amazing people who live here, work here, ready to contribute more, I'm going to keep talking about the benefits that Alaska provides this nation.
Governor,
Since you're on the campaign trail?
Todd and I both said this morning, it's going to take some getting used to not being, I guess, out and about in seeing a different city every few hours. It seemed like seeing different people, though so much commonality in these people, but seeing the diversity of the different cities and the demographics represented. We'll miss that.
Are you sad?
Not sad at all. In fact, energized. I think certainly feeling like it's a little bit of a different level because of the perspective now that I have about what national politics are all about. Not sad. Again, disappointed in the change that I've seen in national media compared to a couple decades ago when I received my journalism degree, and how things seemed to work then. But not sad, and also being willing to try to help there also to make sure that there is credibility in our media, that there is objectivity there, so that Americans can trust what is being reported. We don't have to second guess. We don't have to be so, I guess, paranoid of what comes over the airwaves or what we see written. I want to be able to help also Americans to know that they can trust their media.
But you
Governor?
can't, you can't doubt, Governor, that most of us have been fair during this
Oh,
campaign. the national
absolutely,
media.
yeah. So I
There's
don't-
been some exceptions, but overall it's been pretty good,
See,
right?
and that's the problem, is that it's the exceptions, One bad apple sometimes does kind of spoil the whole bunch. So here again, and this gives me the opportunity to start helping. And how I can start helping is to reiterate exactly what you just said, is for the most part, absolutely. Media persons, reporters have been absolutely right on, and there has been that fairness and objectivity. There have been some stinkers, though, that have kind of made the whole basket full of apples there once in a while smell kind of bad. I want to help clean
Governor,
that up
Folks,
too.
folks,
Yeah.
the governor has staff that she wants to say hello to.
She's
So
the
Okay,
worker.
real quick, the campaign got very personal very quickly. How'd you feel about having your daughter's pregnancy revealed through the presidential campaign?
Well, that was going to be revealed pretty soon anyway, and I don't know. There's nothing I can say about that, because it is what it is, and Bristol has handled it so well. She's, she's strong. She's very kind-hearted, and it's all going to be okay in that respect also. Of course, nobody would choose to have the revelation come out the way that it did, but you guys would all found out about that probably in a matter of weeks after it had been revealed the way that it
Governor,
was.
do you think you're going to be able to work with President-elect Obama? You've criticized him on the campaign trail. Do you think that's damaged any relationship in the
No,
future?
criticism between two very strong and opposing tickets is expected. It's good. That healthy debate, healthy competition is what a presidential campaign is based on, and that's good. No, but I do look forward to working with him and whomever it is that he chooses to surround himself with in a cabinet, again, because Alaska has such great things to offer this nation, and they can learn a lot from Alaska also, and looking forward to reaching out to him and getting to work together.
What about
Yeah.
Democrats in the legislature? They see you now as a more polarizing partisan figure. They've been criticizing you. Do you think that's going to cause you problems with your ability to govern?
I don't know why, except that I ran for vice president with a presidential candidate, ran on a ticket that I've been a part of a party of since I was 18, so nothing has changed there. My values, my convictions, my ability to work with Democrats, Independents, and Republicans all together has never changed. So if there's criticism that all of a sudden I've changed and become an obsessive partisan, then it's not accurate criticism.
Well, hasn't the Troopergate investigation, didn't that help kind of crystallize things along party lines?
No more questions after this.
I don't know. I'm just happy that Troopergate truth was revealed there also, and that, in fact, I'm going to keep on calling it Tasergate, as a matter of fact.
Was
But
Walt Monaghan lying when he described these conversations?
obviously, there were a couple of different recollections of conversations and of intentions and of context of conversations. Also, there are difference there in recollections.
Governor.
Yeah.
Thanks, Governor.
Staff, you guys can fall over back there.
All right. How's your son doing, by the way?
He's doing great.
Yeah.
He called yesterday.
Okay.
And he's doing awesome. And
Just for a few minutes, though, okay? Just for a few minutes.
That's what Mama wants to hear. Just for a few minutes, you guys. You know, it's safe and sound and right and safe in prayer. So let's go. He's good. Thank you so much, sir. Glad you're here. Glad you're here. That's beautiful. Very kind of you. Okay, guys. Thank you. Thanks for everything. Thank you. Thank you so much, you guys. Thank you. Appreciate you. Thanks for everything that you're doing. Thank you. You guys are awesome. Thank you so much. Bless you. Yeah. You guys, thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you guys. So proud of you. Thank you so much. Thank you. All your good work. Thanks, Frank. All that you're doing. Thanks. Thanks, you guys. Thank you. Oh, good. You did great. She's the one who deserves the welcome home.